Doesn't make
Recording in progress.
Okay, all right, everybody, we're going to start the meeting. Oh, just announce, for those, well, no one's joining online, but if you happen to view the recording, this is the Fairfield Arts Commission meeting of Tuesday, May 20th. We're meeting in the Old Town Hall Conference Room as well as via Zoom. It's now 6 o'clock. We do have a quorum, so call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance, correct?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, so everybody's gotten a copy of the minutes. It was emailed to them. You have it in front of you. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Accept.
Second.
Second.
Second by Christine. Anybody opposed? Any edits, changes? No, good, all right. Okay. All in favor? Aye. All right, welcome to introductions. I believe we all know each other. I don't think it's necessary, correct? Yeah, I think
Rise up online.
we'll get there in a second. I think Matt's joining us, but if you want to, I know Sam's got some scheduling issues at home, so if you want to skip over that while Matt gets situated.
Sure.
We can certainly talk with Sam about the Artistic Vision Challenge and next steps.
Okay. Thank you for letting me jump ahead.
Say that.
Have you got them?
We'll get a second.
Thanks. Ladies first, sorry. Go ahead, squeeze. Pull what you want. Okay, so having finished, and it was wonderful, successful, and terrific artistic visions for 11 to 18-year-olds. A bunch of people came to me and Michelle and a whole number of other people involved with the Arts Commission and said, how about something for adults? So here's what came up with for the adults is, again, the objective is to have artistic visions help build Fairfield's art community while creating awareness for the Fairfield Arts Commission. We started with, this is all just the first round concept, calling it Artistic Visions Adult Voices, or AV Squared, a collaboration of storytelling and multimedia creativity. What we laid out for this is doing a collaboration again, but with adults, artists, or professionals. So 2 to 3 artists for each group. They collaborate on multimedia art piece that capture the spirit, history, and/or evolving identity of the town of Fairfield. Artists will co-create a statement that reflects Fairfield's culture. Teams reflect on what makes Fairfield unique to create a voice, a different artistic voice, and how it harmonizes or contrasts. The competitive theme is layers of Fairfield, so they'll explore and represent multiple dimensions of the town, pros and or cons, however they want to look at it. For instance, the location, the natural coastal area, the diverse communities, the history, local stories, aspirations. Each work will also have the same premise that we usually do, is the letters that we did last for this 11 to 18-year-olds. Letters of Fairfield stylized into the piece, and at least one Easter egg. We're looking at artists 19 and older, open to residents that live, work, or study in Fairfield. Again, teams of 2 or 3 artists, and all artistic and STEM disciplines will be accepted. Timeline to work on that, we'll play with that. The awards, yet another thing that we're looking into. All the entries will be in the public exhibition, but also one of this, what we didn't do last time, since these are adults, we'll look at doing, if it works, there'll be an exhibition and sale. Okay, so that's the show. I did a single page. I have a 2-pager if anyone wants to read more on it. But that's the idea right now. Now, the idea, and listen, it's open to, especially since I have a whole bunch of artists sitting around the table, if there's any comments or any ideas that you want to talk about that this may, you may want to discuss about this approach. The reason we're doing, or I'm digging my feet in the ground on this, is about a collaboration with artists is because, first of all, no one's really ever doing that in the competitions. So I think that's important. Second part of that equation, the hidden agenda on this is to try and start to bring our art community together. By having them start to collaborate together, they start to come out and work together. There'll be artists that won't want to do that. There'll be artists that are going to say, I don't collaborate with anyone, but that's fine. This will make them aware that there's something going on in the town of Fairfield where we're bringing our art community together.
2 questions, just no solo artists, just teams, 2 or 3.
Yes.
And the other thing is, I know you don't have a timeline yet to be determined, but I do have is it you're looking towards the fall?
The framework, we would, again, bouncing around like August 1st to October 31st. We still have to look at what dates are comfortable and not, because again, it's adults, so adults are not subject to after-school activities, tests, blah, 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 blah. They're subject to, I'm taking my family out to on vacation or whatever, so that's sort of August-ish. So, but we can keep the time frame slightly longer, if you may.
Just the reason I'm saying that is you talk about the educational part too. If people go to Sacred Heart or Fairfield U, they're probably not around during the summertime, and they might just. I know this is the formative stages. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, but that's it. Yeah, that's why we can look at like August and then open it up and look. If they're in and out of our town, they probably may not get so involved with doing something like this, which is okay. But one of the things that we are, that even Bill Gerber was saying this, well, these artists are working out of the basement. We don't know who they are, where they are. So this is, another way to start bringing them. It's my idea of like, I always revert back to the Wizard of Oz. This is come out, wherever you are.
Show tunes then.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing but show tunes.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Any other questions on this?
Yeah, I have a question. Is there?
Actually, there's a couple comments are after the fact.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is just for the commissioners right now.
Got it. You know when.
If Sam's leaving, do you want to let Diane?
Oh, you are leaving. Yeah, go ahead. You can ask.
Okay. Has there been a discussion about a commonality at all in the projects, such as, well, town has banners. Is there an object, perhaps, that each team would work on? There's any similarity?
No, the reason no is because ambiguity leads to creativity. And one of the things that I've put into these challenges now are that the holding sites, okay, something that can collaborate on is how do we get the word Fairfield in there? What type of Easter eggs do you want to do? At least that this starts a little bit of a discussion to lead into.
So it's very open-ended.
Yeah, and then it's like research and figure out what our town's about, okay? And that also helps all of us because it starts to see what, from the artist's perspective, what our town's about.
Thanks, Sam. I see Lou's joined us, and hello, Lou.
Lou, you have any questions on this?
I don't, I joined in at the last minute.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, thanks for
Matt.
joining us. Are you able to share your screen by chance? Just double checking.
Access.
Yeah.
Yep, I can.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so we got Matt Conway from Rise Up Group. He's going to do the public art collaborations. And he's going
Yeah,
have
just to put it up a little bit further, Matt Conway and Lori Bloom have met with Christine and Lou and I on a couple of occasions talking about potential for public art collaborations. Matt and I go back a few years with an ill-fated effort to do some murals down at the Fairfield train station. We seem to run into a roadblock with the parking authority. We're optimistic that we might be able to revisit that conversation, but certainly, now that we have we have an arts commission, we have funds for the new year. There's a potential to do something exciting in the realm of public art. So with that, I'll introduce again Matt Conway of the Rise Up Group. Matt's worked with a number of other communities throughout the state, and I'll let Matt take it away from there. So thanks for joining us, Matt.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mark. And I was trying to make it there in person because I'm down in Stamford, but got in my truck and there was about an hour's worth of traffic to get back. So joined via Zoom. But Lori's there, and you guys all know her. So She's part of Rise Up's team down in Fairfield County, and runs our studio over in Bridgeport too. So yeah, we're a not-for-profit that was founded in 2012 as a youth development program. And I think one of the coolest parts of this story is the kids in our youth development program in 2015 wanted to do a mural in Hartford. There wasn't an organization like Rise Up, exists now for us to reach out to. So, me and the kids, I was in my early 20s. They were, juniors and seniors in high school, figured it out. The company I work for full time paid for it, work with local artists. And since that first mural, we've, now done over 300 projects across the state in over 40 communities. And, we work with municipalities, arts commissions, private partners, and really going after grants to support our community partners as well, and really driving some community goodwill to drive projects forward. We do everything from, project management, government relations. So, I'm meeting with DOT tomorrow morning at Stanford train station, because we're starting a 150-foot mural tomorrow, and the artist just flew in. The fundraising, community engagement. So we're a big believer, public art is more than just art. And I hearing the projects that this commission, wants to do, I think aligns. So what ways can we include community in creating, world-class public art for a community? So workshops, including youth in the painting process, different ways and strategies, depending upon the project. Also, marketing and press support. We've been, published over 100 times in every major Connecticut news outlet. And we've also actually just won a global Telly Award for our Magic Mural installation. We won gold out of 13,000 global submitters.
Congrats.
Thank you. Right? So yeah, really big for Connecticut, to have that type of recognition in our state. Everything from artistic management, huge artist database, everything from, the artists living in their base or working in their basement, trying to, become a professional or emerging artist to world-class artists, right here in Connecticut. So Rise Up has never paid an artist that was not living and working here in Connecticut. And we've raised over $2.5 million over the past couple of years for our public art and placemaking work. So, I kind of touched on some of this, why partner with us? Like we really help a committee like yours move a little faster by doing some of the legwork and identifying, more private partners, from, supporting putting together crowdfunding campaigns to pitch decks to reach out to local businesses. Really working as an extension of the local community to really support some of the legwork, and just kind of get things done quicker, and with a professional lens. So knowing what would work in some places, what doesn't work in other areas, what equipment is needed, what prep on the walls is required, all that good stuff. And we go beyond murals too. So we've done several installations as well, and look to bring some of that to Fairfield as well. So I touched on, all of this a little bit. We've been deeply, working here in Fairfield County already for several years. We run an annual festival in Stanford. We just installed a 24/7 art gallery. So we fabricated a shipping container with glass on all sides, to be a 24/7 shipping container in Mill River Park, we run youth leadership programs in Bridgeport and Stamford, dozens of public art projects from Bridgeport to Stamford. And yeah, we just, really love to work with this community. And, first battle is having a group of passionate people at the table to make this stuff happen. I think you guys have that, which is great. These are just some pictures, of some of so you can see the seed there. So yeah, we really like this to be a long-term partnership as well, really bringing in our public art strategic expertise, our execution, uh, professionalism, but also our leadership development work that we do with youth, and being able to provide, grant writing and fundraising support, for you guys. And some more pictures. And this is another project that we've launched. It's a handicap accessible picnic table called the Able Table. And as you can see, the handicap accessibility piece is, right in the middle of the table. But we work with whatever community these are going in, on what the design is going to be, what the message is going to be. I have a great picture from Friday. We dedicated a table that Lori painted, at Clater Academy, and I have my son in a stroller on one side, and there was a foster grandmother in a wheelchair on the other side, and dozens of smiling first graders surrounding all of them. So it's a really powerful project. I lost my stepdaughter Thanksgiving 2022. She was completely disabled in a wheelchair, feeding tube. This one on the bottom left, that was actually dedicated to her school a couple weeks ago. And all the students at this school, which is exclusively for kids with, disabilities, all helped to contribute and paint that. So again, this is just, making public art more than public art, accessible seating, making an impact on the youth in the community. So yeah, there's, a lot of different ways we can go, for next steps here, start project by project. Some of our work in communities, we start as kind of that consultant, and then we work to also fundraise for more money, and it's a longer term partnership. That's what we are in Stamford. So, I'm the city of Stamford's public art, the Rise Up's public art consultant. Um, so yeah, I'll pause there. I got a ton of just more pictures in here, some more data on our impact, but I think I've talked enough.
I will say that, with the Able Table, I know Lou, was really impressed with that. And I since reached out to Anthony Calabrese, Director of Parks and Recreation. He's a big proponent of public art. He was very enthusiastic about, doing an Able Table. And he's also looking at large Adirondack chairs that could be painted for a community engagement project with the help of Rise Up. So, we have a couple things kind of in the works, but also we've talked about doing a mural or other type of public art installation. Last meeting or two ago, I had asked if commission members had some thoughts in terms of potential locations for public art. We're starting to create a library of those locations. I know Lou and Christine have contributed some thoughts, as has Lori and myself. So we do have some starting points. But again, I think what Matt laid out, kind of, formalizing an arrangement, maybe it would be at least at the outset project specific, but maybe that turns into something longer term. But I did want to open it up for questions and comments from the group. So thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Exciting.
And, you know,
We vote on it? Yes.
if you guys are okay with it, Christine and Lou and I and Lori can continue to work with Matt to refine this and then bring it back to the commission.
This is exciting.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I
great.
think I think it touches on so many different levels, which is terrific, especially the involvement with the kids and stuff, so.
Yeah, and we have a lot of nonprofits locally, some that deal with, you know, development of disabled kids as well as adults. And there's opportunities to really work with that group in terms of getting them involved in the project. So, yes, terrific work. You can see some of the
Amazing. Yeah.
projects they've been associated with. And I did talk to a number of the communities. Matt was kind enough to provide some references. So, and again, nothing but outstanding reviews from the communities in which they've been engaged.
And Mark, I can send this to you again if you want to.
Yeah, why don't, yeah, please do. So I'll make it available so people can review that at their leisure. And any other questions or thoughts?
No, I think it's all really good stuff. I mean, I've traveled around the country and I've been in different cities that have buildings that are, like Houston comes to mind. There's public art everywhere. Just even in Connecticut, there's a couple places. I think New Britain has some. So
Bridgeport's done a
Bridgeport
tremendous
has done a
job.
lot.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really have.
All those pictures that Matt showed were Connecticut, right, Matt?
Yes.
yeah.
All of them Connecticut, and yeah, all of them, you know, are work. So a lot in Bridgeport. We actually just did a Bridgeport mural tour. There's a gentleman, John, he goes by JPO in downtown Bridgeport that we partner with. He's kind of like plays my role in downtown Bridgeport, but we're like kind of working at the hip there. City of Bridgeport just bought 5 Able tables, for example, thanks to John.
Wow, it's great.
Well, looking forward to the next steps, Matt. This is very exciting.
Okay, well,
Yes.
our little working group will continue on its journey.
I didn't know the Northern Lights were in Stamford, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I was hoping to get it done for today, but I was telling Mark and Lou, I'm gonna put together like an a la carte type menu as a starting place. And we can go for some low hanging fruit first and kind of see where we can expand from there.
That sounds great. Thank you, Matt.
Super.
right,
Thank you,
guys.
Matt.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Lou.
Good job, all the people on the.
All right.
Lives up
Now
there.
you're welcome to stay on, well, I guess you.
I was going to tell them public transportation gets here quicker than
Funny.
Well, speaking of, yeah, I'm, so we do have a couple other things to report on.
We presented
7, I guess. So, again, with regard to the collaboration with Rise Up Group, you do think, as you, on your journey, travels around town, if you see locations, you think, oh, that's really an area that I think would be perfect for some public art, whether that's a mural or something else. Take a picture and send it to me and with a location, and we're gonna, again, amass a library of these, and it'll be something that we can continue to work on over a period of time, whether that's through Rise Up or some other group. At least we'll start to develop an inventory of potential project locations. Under public art as well, we are continuing to, we've been trying to do a pilot project to do a utility wrap on the electrical box at Sherman Green. I have in my hand the maintenance agreement. I kid you not. The state of Connecticut requires that I enter into a maintenance agreement for this utility box. They sent it to the first selectman, who promptly put it on the Board of Selectmen's agenda for May 28th. The amount of work that's going into this is unbelievable, but hopefully, and I did ask, I mean, if we wanted to do others, is each one going to require a maintenance agreement? Or can we just have like a maintenance agreement to cover all utility boxes that the DOT owns in the town of Fairfield, subject to certain provisions? And we're still kind of working through that, because I can't imagine doing this. There's a lot of utility.
They didn't answer you with like, oh,
Well,
yeah.
They said each one individually.
No, I figured that.
You're joking.
Yeah.
You're joking. I think that we can probably do this a little better and more efficiently. So we are working through that. I had hoped to have something done Make Music Day Fairfield. I don't know if we're gonna make it or not, but I'm
Fingers
pushing
crossed.
as I can. I'm pushing as hard as I can. So we also, under marketing communications, we do have a newsletter that's scheduled to drop next week. So again, if there's anything, we're continuing to profile local artists and art venues and art groups, organizations. So if you know of any that you think are deserving of some added attention, just send them our way.
I actually have a question about the newsletter.
Yeah.
Just with everything that's going on, there's a lot of, like, from Connecticut Arts Alliance had like a webinar about how to access free
Yep.
legal.
Yep.
Like, when I see that, is that something that can go in our
Yes.
newsletter?
Yes.
Okay.
And when it's timely, we do put it in.
Okay.
If we think it's
I don't know,
something
okay.
of value. So I do get those as
Okay.
well. But sometimes we're, depending on our frequency, we do a newsletter once a month.
Yeah.
And if it's not aligned with that, we don't do it. But if you do see something like that you think would be of interest to the artist community, feel free to send it my way. Even if it's duplicative, that's fine.
Okay.
So we're going to move ahead with that. I did want to mention with regard to, I know Diane's here from the Cultural District Advisory Board. Obviously, we have the big announcement on June 10th at 11 a.m. Hopefully, all of you can join. I will be working with the governor's office on a run of show. I do have a sample from what was done in Farmington, Unionville, which I think was the most recent cultural district that was announced by the state in February. At least we've got a better time of year to be doing this.
Yeah.
So the plan would be to have it on Sherman Green if the weather is cooperating, if it's nice. But if not, we'll probably move either to the library or to Shoe Community Theater across the street, which would be fine. Usually these things have remarks by both the governor, the lieutenant governor in this case, the director of Connecticut Office of the Arts, local dignitaries, probably the first selectman. Presume that, Charlie or somebody from the Arts Commission will say a few words. But again, if you have some ideas in terms of ways in which we can make it less about, 5 people giving speeches and something more interesting than that, again, I don't want to take up too much time, but if you do have some thoughts on that, feel free to shoot me a note or give me a call. There's not, from my standpoint, nothing worse than having a succession of 5 people, saying,
Same thing.
congratulations, great job, that type of thing. So
Do you have anything else in mind right now, or?
I don't, but that's why I was, and honestly, what they did in Farmington was not much more than that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lengthy event. The whole purpose is to create awareness around the formation of a cultural district and have the state provide the, recognition. So it's hopefully it's a made for TV type event, and they don't really cover a lot. But if there was some other visual thing that we can do there that's, or music, something that we can do, dance.
Party?
Yeah, we could do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I mean, we could definitely have a reception afterward. I was thinking that. The program piece doesn't have to be lengthy, but I was just wondering if we could jazz it up a little.
We could
So Mark,
music.
Yeah. Yeah, Lou.
what about our most, sort of our celebrity artists in town? Are we going to make sure that we're inviting them? Because that always adds a little bit of, pizzazz.
Well, I will invite everyone that I can think of, and I will ask for your help in terms of making sure we have a very robust invitation list. I think, this is really a cause for the whole community to celebrate, certainly the artist community, but everyone's welcome. I'd love to have a big crowd there, especially if we're outside. We could fill the green. That'd be terrific. If we had a couple hundred people there, that'd be awesome.
Do you have a running list? And I'm just riffing off of Lou for a second. Does anyone have a running list of brand name people that live in Fairfield?
Not exhaustive, certainly. So
Chris Franz and Tina
Yeah,
Watkins, but I know them, but
those
but
folks.
anyone else, two is not enough, right?
A few,
Yeah.
but, I will take more, especially if you can make the introductions, just make sure you get the word out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be celebrity, it could be, we just want
I
everyone.
know a lot of local
No,
visual
and that's-
artists
yeah,
I
that-
can invite.
Yeah.
I mean, we understand it's during the day, it's 11 o'clock during the day, people have other commitments, we get it.
We talked about this last time too with the last meeting, right, Lou, about, obviously sending out an invitation to all the artists.
Yeah, we're building a list. I will not pretend, I don't
It'll be a
have
mixer, but it'll be
a
a-
comprehensive list of all businesses in town either. I've been trying to do that for
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good luck with
years,
that.
and it doesn't exist. There's no requirement for people to register themselves with me.
Right.
So, we kind of just do it as we can. It's an evolving thing. So, but all of you know people. And so if we give you the information, hopefully you can share and make sure we've got a good turnout. So, but again.
And I think we should ask Matt Ostriker to play or to put some music together.
Well, I think you just
Yeah,
volunteered.
he already said that, yeah.
Is he there? Oh, I can't see Matt
We
on
could probably
camera.
bring some gear across the street, so easy. Yeah,
But
So
that's,
I'll work with you, Matt, on that.
thanks, yeah.
but you make a good point, Matt, is we need to have 2 runner shows, rain and shine.
Yeah, we'll do an A and B.
Yeah.
We're familiar with having events that are weather specific, so we can have a contingency plan.
Yeah.
But thank you. I appreciate all that. And I did want to mention under public art, we're not quite ready for prime time yet, but we've had some interest from private developers to incorporate public art within developments that are planned or being proposed for Fairfield. So one of the things this was probably going to be, we're building the plane as we fly it, but, there's at some point we'll need to have, and we can start with the group that we formed, Lori and Christine and Lou, around murals, but we'll need to develop, a public art policy, some guidelines. Certainly if people are doing developments and it's a required element as part of their approval, we envision the commission playing a role in terms of advisory to the Planning and Zoning Commission, but also, there's a need when you make those commitments to have something in place that kind of maintains it over time. So it's not just installed and like a year or two later, it's in disrepair. So there's usually in a lot of places, they have covenants that are recorded on the land records that impose the requirement that they be maintained over a period of whatever the life of the artwork is, certainly a term. So these are the types of things I think we're envisioning. But at some point, I would imagine one of these will pop up and will come before this commission for your consideration. So I just wanted to cue that up. Regarding the art mixer, Thursday,
I mean, you're doing all the committee reports?
I am.
Well, we got one more I just got to ask about. Matt, I know your committee had trouble meeting.
Yeah,
So what's the status with your committee now?
are we meeting Thursday? I have it in my
That's
calendar.
what I wanted to talk to you about afterwards.
I'm just trying to find out because I know the time of day might have been wrong. Any thoughts?
If
No, it was
that's
really
gonna work-
my bad. My bad that I actually, I think Michelle said, are we meeting? And I didn't have it on my calendar after we had talked about it. And I said, well, I didn't have time to get a quorum together. So we canceled it. But the next one would be this Thursday. See Diane here, see Charlie here, Matt here. We can huddle up after the meeting and you're away. So part of it is, and this is a weird month because we have 5 Thursdays. So it kind of fell actually a week earlier than I thought it was going to fall. But in any event, I do think we do need to get back into some regularity in terms of the meeting schedule. We certainly have some work to do from that. So, and Katie's here as well. So,
And I know I'm in a meeting from 10 to 1 on Thursday, but I'm not probably.
so anyway, maybe at the end we can
Yeah, we'd
huddle
love
up
to
for
get
5
that
minutes.
scheduled. We could look at the next Thursday if you're back and, after if we can do that, it'd be great.
Thank you, Matt. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, Mark, upcoming mixer this Thursday.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everyone has it on their calendar if you can attend. I don't know if folks are familiar with the Fairfield County Story Lab. It's a working space for creative writers and others. It's located at the Fairfield Sportsplex. I think everyone knows where that is. But it's this Thursday at 6 o'clock. Carol Denhauser is the person in charge over there. Used to be in Westport, it's now in Fairfield. Love to have as many people as possible. She got a great space and a lot of cool things going on over there. They do a lot of workshops for creatives and writers. Anything from script writing to, other content that's written word. But hopefully all of you can come. So I just wanted to mention that. I think we have a number of people signed up, so but can't hurt to get the word out. And that's it then for my reports. And I know Katie had something.
Oh, wait, we're moving. Jeez, what are you doing here?
I'll be really quick.
He must have missed last month's meeting a lot. He's had touch base on everything. He's going to the thing.
I've got it. I'm like regimented because you're like always like, come on, get down.
Oh my God, you're killing me. Yeah, the next time, there's nothing else under upcoming art mixer. Everybody's got comments, you're good. Now we're going on to other business. I know that, Katie, you have something I do.
Yeah, just a brainstorm, because I'm always thinking about low-hanging fruit and how to serve the public. So I serve on a different board of New England arts presenters, and we had our big New England meeting up in New Hampshire 2 weeks ago. And New England Foundation for the Arts was there to really encourage everyone to really use their robust directory. I don't know if anyone knows, but it's called Creative Ground. And it's a really intelligent directory of artists, presenters, arts councils. We actually are on it, cultural districts. So I was thinking, like, I could get training from New England Foundation from the Arts, and is that something that we can like have a day where we can ask the artists and presenters and people of the town to really come and like, because I know like Lori, when she had an outdoor music festival, that's where she went to get the local artists. I know some local smaller theaters do programming that way. And then it's just a great way to have everyone, advertise themselves in a really great way where it's, for free. I don't know.
I say.
So I don't know if we want to do it in a mixer, if we want an official webinar, or just a way, and it's a way to get everyone together.
What time commit do they typically?
I mean, they have the webinars all on their website, but I do think it's something that if the Art Commission can kind of bring out into the public, people will then, the more people can upload and make it robust, the more people can find them, the more the ecosystem grows. And it's you can do, it's so refined in like how you can search. And so it's really about teaching people how to create their profile that best suits their needs. So there's tips and tricks. So I don't know if this is something we would want to do, but I feel like it would be a great resource for this community.
It seems like it seems like something that.
And it's also not performance art, it's all art, performance art, visual art.
It's not a huge investment, obviously, and you try something, and if it's something that people respond to positively, then you do more of it, I guess.
Yeah, just like a small programming lift that the Arts Commission.
I also think that, we're looking for ideas to give a little bit of structure to the mixers. I mean, we have like an update that we provide in terms of what the commission is doing a little bit, and then from the host.
Yeah.
But, again, something that, so it's not just a free-for-all.
Exactly.
Right? There's a little bit of structure to it. We still want to provide opportunities for people to network, but I don't know, that sounds good.
Right there, yeah.
And then I can even talk to all the granting, well, if there's still granting opportunities through the New England Foundation for the Arts, because there's really beautiful New England grants that are out there that encourages different organizations to work together. So it's not like one person lifting. It's 3 organizations making a lift.
Grants? Yes, please. Yeah.
So Katie, who would actually do the presentation?
I would feel comfortable getting a little training from the Common Ground team at NIFA, and I can do training. I'd be happy to do that, just so that everyone can get as many resources as possible. But I also,
It totally falls under what our objective is, which is to serve the artistic community and to enrich them with information. I think this would be fabulous, right?
Yeah, I was really inspired because the meeting brought every single Arts Alliance member from New England. And I think that is the word, is collaboration and doing all the little things to support everyone to rise up, so.
Wow, we've used the collaboration of from Sam to Matt to Katie, so we've had it all together.
So I guess for my next steps, I'll kind of put a one sheet together, and obviously maybe we can look at doing it for the next art mixer,
Yeah,
or the next meeting we come to.
yeah, or
with-
if you think, yeah, we work on
I
that.
wouldn't be able to do it on Thursday.
No, not. We'll have to do this.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Any questions for Katie?
Sounds great to me.
Other items, I have one, but does anybody have anything else?
Just to put something on our radar, I was asked to get actually a project with Fairfield U today that I thought, in that spirit, there may be something, an opportunity for us as a project next year. Next year is the 250 for the United States. And that could be a real opportunity for us to, whether it's incorporated in the Artistic Visions Challenge next year. But, because I'm just thinking, if the university is doing a big thing, like, we should kind of plan more artistic programming around the 250.
So maybe I should, for the next meeting, have Mike Jaley attend, because we've asked Mike to take the lead in terms of coordinating the town's efforts to celebrate the nation's 250th around the Declaration. So, but I know he's looking for partners, so anything arts related would be good. So I think, Mike can give us an update as to where they are in terms of their planning and how they relate to the state and national groups, and then figure out where we fit in. So that might be good.
Thank you, Connor. The one thing I had, just a reminder, next month is June, and we have 3 commission members have to go up for reappointment if they choose to. Lou, me, and Kevin, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So that has to be accomplished. I guess you get in touch with Ms. Carpenter over the first,
And who's the third? Okay.
I would believe Kevin Jackson. And then last year would be C and D's. Well, no, because, there's,
Okay. All right, I can reach out to.
Jen Carpenter probably would get that accomplished, and then you have to go to the,
Are you interested in continuing?
Well, obviously no.
Are you interested in continuing, Lou?
Sure.
Okay.
reach out with Kevin.
All right.
Have to find another day in the week.
They just figure that you'll have to go to town hall and get sworn in again. That's an easy fix anytime.
Sworn at.
Sworn at, sworn at. They swear at me, they swear these people in. That's the lever. Public comment.
Well, I just walked in. I was interested in
Want to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, Mr. Michael Nishbal, Middlebrook Place, Fairfield.
Michael.
And I heard about the commission, and I just want to see what your work was all about. And I learned a lot today, an arts district. That's very exciting. Hope to stay connected in some way.
Come anytime.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I went to art school, so I should be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Come to our art mixer on Thursday and
Yeah, I just
meet some local artists.
What space? That's a big.
So it's
place.
the Fairfield County Story Lab. It's the best I can describe it. It's kind of in the middle of the complex.
Signage of some sort.
Yeah, there'll be a
Yeah,
sign.
big sign on the building.
Next to the
It's
yoga.
tucked into an
Get
alcove.
in there, it's pretty easy.
What's that?
Once you get in there, it's pretty easy.
I think it's Suite G if it matters, but it's on the left-hand side past local, the restaurant, before you get to Candlewood, the market.
On the little inlet.
85 Milk Lane.
Yeah, well, thank you, everybody, for the work.
Thanks for coming.
Laura, you have anything?
No, I don't think so. I like your idea of the Cardi.
Yeah.
Really great
Sounds
nonprofit.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really great addition.
On another thought for that, you could do something on like a giant piece of canvas where everybody can do a piece of it while they're there. That wouldn't take like a few minutes for them to do, so that there's something interactive for them to do while they're there.
That would be great. We need somebody to help organize that. so. I don't know if you want to do it for this one, but for me, maybe for another one, we'll do it. How's that? So,
It's in June, right?
yeah.
It's not that far. It's far enough away that I can throw something together. Up to you. I'll talk to you about what it could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we could do something like a tree with everybody does their thumbprints, or that was
Awesome.
the first thing I thought about, like something like that, something basic like that.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
I just had one quick reminder too. When we're having these meetings, they're recorded. And today there was quite a few side conversations going on. The microphone picks up everything. And then when Lou goes to do the minutes, she has to cipher through your voices what the actual meeting was. So just be aware that when we're at the meeting, if you're going to have a side conversation, try not to. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Tom?
Wait,
Go.
Charlie, there was something else that was supposed to happen.
Make Music Day, June 21st.
No, not that. The thing that I,
Oh, we got it. Yeah. I was waiting for one person.
okay. I'm not getting off until I hear what you say.
What I say?
Yeah.
What did I say? Mark, for all the work that you and Mary Alice do, I wish there was financial gains to this, but there's not.
You're not loud.
You just licked it.
That was the bonus.
Oh, that's like, you got my DNA. Oh, that's for you and Mary Alice.
I will tell you what, should I open it now? Because I should.
I talked to Lou. She wants to see reaction, I guess. I don't
No,
know.
that's fine. You can wait to open in front of Mary.
We
You
just
know,
spit
the
fast.
person who does all the work is really not here, Mary.
Oh,
Alice.
stop it.
All
You're
the
being
work.
too
She's
humble.
amazing.
You're here all,
She absolutely is.
Yeah.
yeah,
But,
she's great.
Yeah, I'll let, we'll open it together and thank you very much.
And
for,
so just a big thank you from the whole commission for the
From
last
all
2
of
years.
us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know Mary Alice appreciates it as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's definitely, you guys are make it fun. So appreciate it.
Motion to adjourn. Connor. Second. There's 2 seconds. Thank you, everybody.
And we like
2
it,
seconds.
Charlie, because you run a very efficient meeting.
Thanks.
Be like that.
Have to leave early.